I started to talk and I couldn't. I got my red guitar out. We're going to do some Beatles today. Oh, man, this is going to be so fun. Let's see here. I put out my Rick Rubin interview yesterday. This from when I went to Italy to interview him. I have my Tori Amos interview coming out this week. And I don't know why, but I don't see anything in the, that I don't see my picture on here. Okay, there I am right there. And then I was just looking at the stream and it didn't come up. It was just black there. And then, the Beato Book Platinum Bundle for sale this week until October 4th at midnight. That's my Beato Book Interactive. It's all 5 of my courses. Beato Book Interactive, which has hundreds of audio examples and video lectures and a 500-page textbook in it. My Beato Ear Training, which has 80 video lessons, hundreds of interactive training modules, 27-page PDF that goes with it. My Beginner Guitar course, self-explanatory. That's a 5-hour course. And then my Quick Lessons 5-hour video course. And then the Arpeggio Masterclass, I've included that in the bundle. It's a $467 savings. So it's $119 for that. And it basically helps run the channel and it helps you become a better musician. And that's why I don't do sponsors. Anyways, I was thinking about, okay, I'm going to do a Beatles breakdown, but what is a song that's a strange but perfect song? And there's a lot of them. And it was really between 2 songs and it could have been between 25 songs fit this thing, but this is really a perfect song. And this is one of their most famous songs. It was a number 1, one of their 27 number. I believe it was number 1. But it's very strange in many ways. It's rhythmically strange. It's melodically strange too. And I'm not sure, I've never tried. I'm actually going to play the Beatles on here. I'm going to see what happens. I hope the video doesn't get taken down, but we're going to try it right now. Okay. I've never actually done this before. So we're going to see. Okay. Here we go. You guys ready? Here we go. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about this song. What is weird about this? Okay, so I wrote out the first part of the song here. It starts on A major and goes to A sus2 with the open B string. Okay, but the thing that Lennon sings, this is a John Lennon song. Now, if you try to play along with the video that I'm doing here, it's going to be a little bit out of tune. It's slightly sharp, okay? So just FYI, if you're playing, you're like, why is my guitar out of tune? That's why. I think it's sharp. And I think I tore my rotator cuff because this is killing me right now. Okay. Now he's doing it with a 12 string. Lennon is here. So it's basically like the A sus2, this part, is done with a quarter note triplet, but Ringo plays like a 16th note, a dotted 16th rhythm against it, which is really cool. And if I'm not mistaken, the drums are only in the left speaker if you guys are playing it, if you're listening to it with headphones. My speakers are kind of wide apart, but the drums are in the left speaker if they're actually connected to on the right side. But I'm gonna be sad. Okay, now this is what's amazing about this. This is what's strange. Lennon sings. So he does this. He sings the sus4, this note that's not even in the chord. I think I'm gonna be sad. We call that a double suspension because he's got the sus2 Da, da, and the sus4 in the melody. He's not even singing the notes that are in the chord. He goes to that note, that dissonance, because it's not in the chord. Now, this is really weird, okay? To me, it's not weird. It sounds perfectly normal. But later on in 2024, when I listened to it and I analyzed it, I'm like, that's weird that he would hear that. And that's what's amazing about the Beatles. The other thing is that this is just one scale. I think I'm gonna be sad. I think it's today. Yeah. Girl that... He goes up to the flat 7. The girl that's driving me mad. And McCartney goes... McCartney does that. Sings the 9th on that. So it's like an A9 chord here. Girl that's driving me mad is going away. Now this note, you notice that note is not in the chord. It's the 11 on that chord. And then it becomes the root of that chord. So you have this sus4. Then it turns into the flat 7 on that first chord. So the whole verse is really a mixolydian, okay? I know you guys are like, mixolydian, John Lennon wasn't thinking that. No. Da, 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 na, 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 na. That's mixolydian because there's no other chord. It's all just an A chord. A chord, A sus2, A sus2. It's just going between those two chords. Think I'm gonna be mad. Think it's today. Yeah. Girl that's driving me mad is going away. He's playing B minor, but he's singing, you know, the 11. Yeah. She's got a ticket to ride. Beautiful. The 9th. That's a D9 chord. So it's F sharp minor. She's got a ticket to ride. Then she's got a ticket to ride. Completely weird. That G major 7th chord, he's going 7th to 6th. There's a sharp 4. Da, da, da. You hear that note? Gary just said, my singing will stop me from getting a strike. That's true. It's fooling the computer here because it's so out of tune. It's fooling the computer. You guys know what notes I'm trying to sing. Ba, ba, ba. That note, beautiful note. And Lennon, like, why would he sing that note? Why would he go da da da? Because it doesn't sound as good. Da, 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 and then da, 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 da. He goes to the sharp 9 there on the E7. She got a ticket to ride. She don't care. Okay, so all these not what we call non-chord tones, right? They're or upper extensions. Okay, so if we look at this song, it starts in the key of A major, and you would call this the 1 chord, but really, that 1 chord goes to in the melody here. It's a 1-7. Okay, 1-7. You're in the key of A, but you're really in the key of A mixolydian. Okay. Because the girl, that when he sings a G on that A chord, it becomes a 7, but it's definitely in the key of A. And this chord, B minor, is the 2 chord, and E is the 5 chord, right? So key of A major, it's just 1, and then the 2 chord to 5 chord. And then this F sharp minor is the 6 chord. She's got a ticket to ride. Now this D7 chord is not in the key of A. It's the 4-7 chord. Now the 4 chord in the key of A normally would be D major 7, but it's a 4-7 7. She's got a ticket to ride, right? And he's really doing D9. He's singing the 9th on that. And then she's got a ticket 6 to ride. That G major 7 chord is not in the key of A, but it's actually in the key of D, right? Now you could say, okay, maybe this is in the key of D, because if it's in the key of D and it's A7, this would be the 5 chord, okay? And you could analyze it 5 in the key of D, the 5 chord, and then you're like, oh, key of D, B minor is the 6 chord, but what about the E? That's not, in the key of D, E would be a major 2 chord, doesn't work there. And it's definitely an A, it starts on A, so it's definitely in some type of A. But this G major 7 is a, we'll call this a flat 7, major 7. But Lennon sings the sharp 4 on it, which is amazing. Ba, ba, ba. He sings the 13, the major 7, the 6 or the 13, and then the sharp 4. So that scale that he's singing over it is the Lydian scale. I always talk about these, right? And this E7 chord here, so you got the 6. She's got a ticket to ride to 5-7, but with a sharp 9 in the melody. And back to the 1 on the A. Okay? Evan, thank you so much. Appreciate that. And she don't care. So that's the verse part, right? So let's talk about this. Then it goes to the second verse.
And she don't care.
Amazing.
She said that living with me was bringing her down, yeah. She would never be free when I was around. She's got a ticket to ride.
I love that.
She's got
Beautiful.
a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride, but she don't care.
When he goes, ride, ride, you don't hear it as a sharp 9 chord. Ride, she don't care. You hear it as a blues note. Now, if you're saying, Rick, how do you figure all this stuff out? How do you know what these Roman numerals are? Well, if you check out my Beato Platinum Bundle, it teaches you this stuff right in the 2nd chapter, I believe, where we start talking about keys and what are the diatonic chords. Not only is this in my Beato Book Interactive course, my video course, it's also in the ear training course. And there's 2 things that you want to really think about. And by the way, the sale is only going on till October 4th, $467 off. It's $119. It's less than what most music channels will sell one course for. I'm just saying, you get 5 courses for basically the price of less than 1 course. It's a great deal. Go to another tab, click on it, and I'll teach you how to do this. Now, why do I talk about the notes that he's singing over the chords? Okay, because that's kind of an important thing, because it really teaches, not October 4th, what was the date the sale goes till? It says it on here. I said it at the beginning here. When's the sale end, Aaron? You can tell them. You got it in the thing. The sale's over October 6th, I think. Is that what Aaron said? Just whatever Aaron's saying in the chat, or Mike is saying in the chat. Why do I talk about the notes that they're singing over the chords? Okay, I'll tell you this. October 11th, thank you. I don't even know what day it is today. I keep thinking like, never mind. Because it's important for melody writing to know what the different possibilities are. And one of the reasons that Beatles songs are so memorable is that they use really unusual dissonant notes at key points in the melody. Where do you think a key point is? Think I'm gonna be sad. Thing is today, yeah, she did. That flat 7 note, she would never be free. Those are really da, 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 da. That 9th up to the 3rd there, really incredibly important for that note to have that. Then da, 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 that beautiful. Whoops, that. Great notes, really dissonant though. And you can listen to a song for 55 years and not even think about that. Okay, somebody asked, Rick, do you think the Beatles know what they were doing theory-wise or just playing whatever sounded good? It's interesting. Most of the time I say they're playing what sounds good, but these guys could play. If you go to I know that Lennon didn't know what a sharp 4 was. You know how I know? Because there's a great video of him and George Harrison together when John was working on his first solo record after the Beatles. And he walks in and they're, what was a song called? It's off the Imagine record. This thing is like, and Lennon plays a sharp 4. What's the song? He plays that, and he goes, it's kind of a D chord, he says. And he didn't know what the chord was. He didn't know it had a sharp 4 in it, but he played it. Oh, my love. Thank you, James. Oh, my love. And immediately George picked it up, and George knew what to play on it. And then it gets to this other chord. There's one other chord. And John asks Yoko, I was going to make a video about this, but John asks Yoko, what chord is this? And John's playing it, and about 30 seconds goes by, and Yoko goes, it's a diminished chord, and she's right. That's amazing. It's like, she's like, yeah, it's a diminished chord. It's like, yeah, well, it's like a partial diminished chord. It's functioning like that. But if you watch the Get Back movie, and Lennon's, I forget what tune John was like, I'm going to play organ on this. It was a Paul song. I think it was G sharp diminished, Lord Pender says there. I think it was. But Yoko called it. She's like, oh, yeah. She goes, I think it's diminished chord. So in this movie, in the Get Back movie, John goes from guitar over to keyboard. He never says to Paul, what are the chords? He just starts playing the chords with both hands and never makes a mistake. And Paul's just playing, and John is playing all the chords. So John knew what the chords, he knew the G sharp minor and A major and all this stuff. He hears it and he played it, and he does not make mistakes. This is the amazing thing about the Beatles. When you watch the Get Back movie, when they're doing stuff, their ears are so good that not only did they not make mistakes when they were just learning stuff, but when they went and played covers that they hadn't played since 1960, they didn't make mistakes. They remembered the lyrics and they played them right when they were just goofing around. And now that is amazing. Think about that. These guys had such good memories and good ears. This is ear training. They learned 1,000 songs by ear. This is why my ear training course is important, is to get you to learn these things by ear and stop relying on YouTube tutorials, which 75% of the time are wrong. So they learned songs off records, and they would learn them so fast. And guess what? They didn't have sheets of music. They weren't writing them like this and have them on the bandstand. They memorized them. Somebody says, somebody doesn't like Yoko and she knew music theory. She literally says, she thinks about it for a second. She's like, yeah, it's a diminished chord. And she's right. And it's really amazing there. But John's like, yeah, it's some type of a, when he plays it, yeah, it's a D chord, some kind of a D chord, he says. And Harrison is right on it. And then the other thing is, I'm going to tell you this because I'm not going to make the video. Maybe I will, but when John hands him a guitar that's so out of tune, John's like, oh, it's way out of tune. I'm talking so sharp, like a fourth sharp. And George is so fast at tuning it. And John plays the E, he plays the B, he plays the G. He's playing from the top down. And George is tuning it super fast in tune. And it takes a second for the guitar to get back in tune. He has to tune it a couple times. And John is playing all the open notes of the guitar on the keyboard. And why is that? And usually Paul would play the keyboard stuff, right? John played keyboards on plenty of songs. You could tell from watching the video that they've done it a million times. They just always tuned up to the piano. And they had such good ears because they practiced learning songs and working out parts and teaching each other stuff. And then George plays for a second. Then he realized it's out of tune again. And immediately Lennon plays the open strings of the guitar again for him. Plays as a chord, plays each note separately and George is just going zipping through the things, getting them in tune. Amazing. So good. Okay, so let me talk about the bridge of before we digress here. All this stuff is in my Beato Book Platinum Bundle here. You can learn the ear training stuff and get good at learning this stuff by ear. You can learn the theory about how this stuff all works together, what the Roman numeral chords are, or what keys you're in, and also what notes of the chords you're singing, what notes you're singing against the chords, okay? Let's listen to the bridge. Here we go.
I don't know why she's riding so high. Sure think twice, sure to do right by me. Before she
I don't know why she's riding so high. Do right by me. Or she gets to saying goodbye. Okay, so it goes to that D7 chord again in the bridge. Okay, so the B section. The B section. So it's D7. Da, 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 da. Shall think right, shall do right by me. E7, 3, 4. Da 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 da. Does that little fill. So bridge goes 2 times around. It's got that extra little thing for the phrase where he goes, all right. Does that guitar fill there that's coming up right here?
She gets to saying goodbye. Sure to think twice, sure to do right by me. I think I'm gonna.
Okay, before she gets to saying goodbye. So McCartney's singing those that third up on that, right? Nothing right, I'll do right by me. Nothing right, I'll do right by me. There's your that gives you that blues note there, that sharp 9 again, that Jimi Hendrix chord. But when you come to Roman numeral analysis, once again, the D7 chord is not in that key of A, but it's a 4 chord. It's like blues. It's a blues it's like you'd have in a blues. So I just call that a 4 dominant 7 chord, and this is a 5/7 chord. That's pretty much the whole song, right? Thank you, Masato. Masato, thank you so much. Appreciate that. The other thing at the end of the song.
When I was around, she's
I love that.
got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a
I love how Ringo just goes blat, right? And then,
ticket to ride, but she don't care.
and then right here.
My baby don't care. My baby don't.
This is really cool. He goes, right? My baby don't care. Now, who would ever have that? This. My baby don't care. Beautiful, right? If you do it like that. That sounds amazing together. It's You know, I played this guitar today and I was like, I really need a setup bad on here. I got some weird buzzes. Thank you, Martin. Appreciate that. So that's the other great thing about the song is is that ending bit. My baby don't care. Who would sing a melody like that? My baby don't care. That's so cool. Don't care. My baby don't. I love that, right? So it goes, and it goes to the with that sixth interval there. And that's the thing the Beatles did in their harmonies. They would do these thirds are great, but sixths are really amazing, right? Wow. Wow, that just, I get chills when I. Thank you, David. Appreciate that. And the tambourine playing is phenomenal. Man. Listen. And I love George's riffs there. I think that's George playing all those riffs. Although it's kind of Lennon's style. But I think Lennon's playing rhythm on this. It's a great guitar sound. It's very it has this really cool mid-rangey tone to it. Liam level. I like that, Cosmic Sofa. There you go. So it's, to me, it's really important to understand. This is why the ear training thing. First of all, to be able to, what are the things that you need to be able to do, and why do you learn ear training? You learn it because, first of all, you match the pitch to the song. The song is slightly sharp, so I had to tune to the track. Let's start there. Then being able to figure out what the chord pattern is, or if it has a riff, which we call a signature. This is what I call a signature. That is the signature of the song. It's the intro. Intros, when it has a memorable riff like that, I call it a signature. And these are things that you should be able to have the vocabulary. You should have the ear vocabulary to be able to figure them out. And that's why the ear training part of this is important. Like I said, my Beato Platinum Bundle is on sale until the 11th? I forgot. All 5 of my courses for $119. That's $467 off what it would cost if you were paying full price for everything. So I support the channel. That's how I'm able to go over to Italy and interview Rick Rubin, and then go and interview Tori Amos in Cornwall, England. And I don't have to take, you guys become better musicians, and I don't have to take sponsors on my channel, which I'm never going to do. Never say never, but I don't think I'm ever going to have to take sponsors, because I never have had to in 8 years, which is great. And I think that I think it's important. Thank you, sound engineer, sound engraver. These music theories, when people understand how things sound good, there's nothing like it. It's something to appreciate, just as an aside, how well recorded these songs are. When I did my interview with Rick Rubin, I did I'm going to be on Rick's podcast also. He did an interview with me. I hate being interviewed. But we talked a bit about the Beatles, and you just gotta give it up for how great and how this stuff just sounds amazing. My God. John's vocals. Listen how good the vocals sound. Listen. Paul. Listen how clear they are and how fat they are. Wow. Amazing. Timeless. Thank you, Dean. Timeless. Thank you. They are timeless. Okay, so that's it for today. You guys are incredible. Thanks for not watching football and coming on here. You guys are awesome. Go check out the Beato Platinum Bundle. Watch my Rick Rubin video when you get a chance. It's long. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes or so, but it's worth every second. It's fascinating. You guys are awesome. Have a great, great rest of your weekend. We'll see you. Take care.